Of course, he's gonna be leading. Never thought myself a winter explorer, yeah. So, it's to the Elbond Rhyme we go. But where do we even start looking for in such a place? Tracks in the snow. Emmanuelian is, as usual, milling about aimlessly. What ho, chums? Been given something to do, have you? As it happens, I too have been ordered to make myself useful. Sounds like rather a tall order. Since you ask, we're to scour the Elben Rhine for survivors. What? Wander around ice fields on the off chance you'll find someone? You'd take forever to finish the job without the benefit of my expertise, or more specifically, my telescope. Come, friends, I know just the spot to begin our search. Let's just not follow him. I'll probably regret this, but we may as well humor him. Let's just let him go out on his own. I'm sure it'll be fine. Yeah, where's the... I need to look up where the... East? Okay, yeah, we're heading east. Let's see, that might be off the edge of... Oh, it's right there, never mind. Yeah, that really is imposing. Where's the next one? Northeast. Okay, we'll do that later. The few buildings I can see don't appear to be residences. They may still warrant investigation, though. I'm surprised by how many wild beasts there are roaming around the place. Perhaps now that the soldiers are gone, they're free to wander and forage as they please. I spy with my little telescope. A massive sheep thing? Or maybe it's a cow. Not what we're after, either way. Is that an aether current? Ah, no, just a wind sprite. Other than that, it's all snow, snow, snow. What's low? What do I see over there? Yon hillock? There's no mistaking it. That's a girl. Of course he would see. Of course he would be able to spot the girl. A survivor? Show me. Over there, behind the tree. It looks like she's running away from something, though surely not us. She wouldn't even know we're here unless she had a telescope like mine. All I can tell is that she's wearing a pale green dress, rather fetching one at that, of course. She'll be long gone by the time we get anywhere near, but we should be able to follow her footprints. Stoic nod. I'll let Lucia know where you're heading. Oh, and take these warming tinctures, will you, with you? The poor girl must be chilled to the bone, if not on the verge of freezing to death. That's actually very thoughtful, thank you. But won't you need some for yourself? No, I'll be fine. As a man of chivalry, my honor demands I do no less. And lest we forget, the very reason we're here is to protect those in need. Now go, and Godspeed. He was actually kind of useful. And again, he's not coming with us, so... Why are you still here? If you dally any longer, you'll miss your chance to play the hero. Well, okay, let's go try and find the girl. Alright, footprints in the snow. Let's investigate. A trail of fresh footprints lead east. Oh, there's the other one. Oh, they already found it. These footprints appear to be the same as those you saw previously, and they lead towards the building. Well, yeah, I see Alphinaud and Alizé over there. According to the label here, this place used to be involved with extracting ceruleum. We're getting closer, I'm sure of it. At first we thought she'd gone inside the building, but the door doesn't look to have been opened in some time. She might still be nearby, so we'll keep looking around here. Then again, it's also possible that she ran right past this place. Would you mind searching up ahead? Okay. Wonder if this is going to be someone important. Or if it's just going to be some random Garlean citizen that will give us some information. Oh, there she is. The girl in the green dress anxiously surveys her surroundings. Were you to call out to her from a distance, it might attract wild beasts to your location. It would be safer to get closer first, but you must do so without drawing her attention. Follow the girl from a safe distance. The objective will end in failure if you are noticed. Make sure you cover such as rocks to approach her without being seen. Similarly, the objective will also end in failure if you fall too far behind. Should you fail to complete the objective, you may try again and return to the designated location. Okay. I mean, how far away can I be? So far, so good. Considering she said so far so good, I get the feeling that she's not tempered. It doesn't look like any kind of rose I've seen. You must be imagining things. Better catch my breath. Wonder if there's a trigger. If those beasts spot me, I'm done for. Wonder if there's a trigger on these hiding spots that make her turn around at certain times. I hope my luck holds. Gotta keep going. They're all depending on me. Just a little farther. This is it. The final spurt. Okay. I don't know how we couldn't see this from here, but okay. Hello, ma'am. Hello, madam. Duty complete. Phew, still in one piece. Hello there, madam. Would you care to... Let's see, what do we... We've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty. Who are you? Stay back. This house is packed with explosives. Take another step and I'll blow this place sky high. Please, wait, we just want to talk. I'm Alphanode. This is my sister Alize, and our good friend Brillian. We have no intention of hurting or taking anything from you or anyone else. I give you my word. We and our comrades have come to provide aid to the people of Garlemald. Aid? You savages are the ones responsible for this? You did this to us. Well, no, not really. We didn't, I promise you. One of the other reasons we came was to find out what happened here, in fact. The Telephoroi are the ones to blame. They're the ones who laid waste to Garlemald, and they won't stop until they've destroyed the entire world. They're the enemy. Our enemy. On our way, we encountered Imperial soldiers who had been made their thralls. Those poor souls are now in our care, and we are striving to cure them of their affliction. You're the first person we've met who wasn't already enslaved. How were you able to escape the Telephoroi's influence? Are there any others like you? I'm sorry, I don't mean to overwhelm you. Let's start with introductions. Can you tell me your name? My name's Lucina. As for how I've managed to stay sane, I've been asking myself the same question. Ever since that night, the roar, that terrible roar, and then the screams. I was screaming too, I think. I'm not sure, I can't remember. Then came the silence. Everything was still. It was like waking up from a nightmare. I thought that maybe the fighting had stopped, so I stepped outside. If your hells are real, I saw one that day. I ran, past friends, people I'd known all my life, eyes vacant, dead, staring at the sky. Others were mad and violent. I saw them struggle with soldiers, but didn't stay to watch. I fled, as far as my legs would take me. Do you have a family here? Is this their home? No, this is Victor's spoils. A mansion for retired soldiers, or it was, but now me and a few others are, borrowing it. As for the explosives, I was making that up. Gee, really? I just wanted to keep everyone else safe, and I didn't know if you were... The truth is, our supplies are running low. You said you're here to help. Can you? Of course. Whatever assistance we can provide, we will. Thank you. I'd better tell the others first, though. Wait here. This is everyone. Lucina says you can be trusted, but there were desperate times. We'd be fools to let foreign troops into our home. Having said that, were you to provide us with the means of heating the place as a sign of goodwill, perhaps we can take you at your word. If that is too much to ask, then leave us be. Time to put my firewood gathering skills to use. All the way back in Heaven's Ward. Could you provide the spark with your little magic, Alize? Well, we have a fire burning in no time. May we build it under the gazebo? The what? Oh, you mean the bower. Yes. Yes, do as you will. Remember there was something about a gazebo and naming a gazebo. I think it was in the Heaven's Ward Hildebrand story. ... wonder how these people are going to come into play. I mean, it's good for the story, because then we get to see, like, people that weren't tempered and, like, people just, like, for developing the world. How the mighty are fallen. Lysena's inner turmoil is writ with pain on her face. Writ plain on her face. Sorry, I'm still finding it hard to come to terms with all that's happened. Now that you're here, though, I'm hoping things might change for the better. You know, I've worked up quite a sweat from all that running around, so I'll leave space around the fire for the others. As you can tell, they're in far worse state than me. We were planning to look for somewhere warmer or with more food, but they're not going anywhere until we nurse them back to health, which I don't know how to do. Is there anything you can do to help them? I can try. Alright, friends. ... What they need most is a decent meal. We've food back at the camp, but there's distance cover. All's well, all's well. With food in my belly and song in my heart, I can feel my fingers again. I can treat their frostbite and their wounds, but it will take some time for the fire to do its work. Now would be a good occasion to make use of a million tinctures. The ones that can warm the body from inside out. Would you make sure everyone gets one? Okay. The numbness is beginning to subside, though I suspect once the fire dies, it will return with a vengeance. Try this. Warming tinctures? I've never heard of such a thing. No harm in trying. But tell me, have you heard aught of the city? Though calling it that seems absurd after what's happened. It's nothing but ruins now. The few buildings still standing offer no more than the meager protection from the wind and snow. Food production, water purification, the magitech that sustained us has come to a grinding halt. What machina that remains operational cannot be run for lack of ceruleum. Of course, cerulean ingens is full of the stuff. For all that good it does us. No one here knows the first thing about the extraction or refinement. We don't have any Ironworks people with us right now, do we? I think we do. They could probably get it all working again. All is well. Yes, never better. Oh, what sweet libation is this? Is it poisoned by chance? No. Ha ha ha, 'twas a joke. Ha 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 ha. If I laugh, 'tis that I may not weep, so said the poet, and alas, my tears would freeze on my cheek ere they fell. We are the blessed damned, to bear witness to the fall of the great empire, while our brethren lie dead, or live on as puppets of flesh. First came the war, then came the roar. When morning came, Garlemald was no more. In the cacophony of gunfire, explosions and screams, was our beloved capital razed to the ground. From the rubble rose the disheveled remnants, their lavish finery caked in ash as they shuffled mindlessly towards the palace, each bearing a fragment of stone or metal, an offering perhaps to the architect of our destruction. A hopeful few tried to reason with the deranged, only to be beaten for their kindness. But I knew better than to plead with the horde. I fled with my health, if not of my conscience preserved. Now I wait with my fellow cowards for our final judgment. What do you want? Have this? A tincture. May as well drink it, I suppose. What's that? Radio? This? It's a radio. You don't have them from where you come from, I take it. We use them to listen to messages sent by others, even over great distances. I mean, we have something like that. There are different types, but this model is by far the most popular. Made with quality components crafted with the finest ore, sourced from Locus Amanus. It is. Not all that useful since the capital fell into ruin. The people at the broadcasting station must have either fled or ended up like all the others. Because all we have been hearing is the same music being played over and over again. Home beyond the horizon, an ode to the brave men and women sent to reclaim our ancestral homeland of Locus Amanus. Monus. I'm going to pronounce that wrong every time. I don't know how it's supposed to be pronounced. We may have found an empire in these frozen wastes, but we always hoped to take back what was once ours. 'Tis a solemn reminder that though we must suffer great hardships, better days will surely come. Despite everything, I believe that Emperor Varus yet lives, about that, and that he speaks to us through our radios. I'm sorry to disappoint you. It was a cunning strategy, faking his murder. I'm sorry, dude, but he's dead. He must have foreseen this catastrophe and chose to conceal himself. Then he may one day make his triumphant return. No, he won't. Yes, I'm sure of it. Emperor Varus would not be defeated so easily. Yeah, let's just continue. Ah, man, he did. Well, everyone's doing slightly better, I guess. If you listen very, very carefully, you can hear it. The sound of my stomach eating itself. Would that it could devour my soul. Many of our ancestors succumbed to the bitter cold when they first came to these lands, much as we are now. But with discipline and order, any obstacle can be overcome, when every man knows his duty and is held to account if he shirks it. Without a hierarchy, this is what we are reduced to. I have faith you will deliver us from this madness, your radiance. By your grace shall Garlemald be reborn. I guess they're doing a pretty good job of showing some broken individuals. One of them has hope, the other one's like dying, and then the other one's delusional. Okay, Lucina, yeah, your people are kind of need some help. What's that? Oh yeah, I guess she can get one too. So this is what you gave the others? Thank you. I'll save it for later. Actually, I have a few things to ask you. Stoic nod. Are you part of the group studying at Laternum? Oh, staying. I thought you said studying. I saw Legatus Vergia's troops heading towards the Magna Glacies a few days ago. Are they the ones you encountered? Camp Broken Glass, you call it. And Vergilia and her men are all there now? So how did you reach the Magna Glacies? Did you cross the mountains on foot? Of course not. We're not. What do we look like, peasants? Airships. Then there might be a way to... Okay, she wants to run away. Frail voice? Okay. Lucina, where is everyone? Is something the matter? A voice inside, you say? You must be imagining things. Everyone's out here. Perhaps perhaps a baby Almasty has found its way into the house. It wouldn't be the first time. Without the soldiers to scare them off, wild animals have been roaming closer to the settlements. Some have been known to attack people, too. I just had an idea. If you and yours are strong enough to defeat the Legatus, then surely a few beasts shouldn't pose a threat. I mean, I guess we gotta win their trust. If you've a mind to continue helping us, please, perhaps you could Head to the other side of the lake. There is a small group of tappers living there. People whose job is to extract ceruleum. They still do, from what we can tell. I've already tried asking if they would share their fuel with us, but they're not willing to give it away. They want food in exchange. Lots of food. That's something we don't have and can't get on our own. On top of that, to even reach their den, we'd have to make our way past all those creatures. Would you be willing to go in our place? We only need enough ceruleum to last until the others are strong enough to travel to your camp. If the offer still stands, that is. Oh, and I don't expect you to give up your own supplies, but there might be another way to pay the tappers. If it's ceruleum you need, the ceruleum you'll have. You'd best watch your baby masties while we're away. Yeah, sure, let's be sarcastic. Yes, of course. If I see any, I'll let you soon to shoo them away. To reach the trapper's den, you'll have to cross the lake. The ice is thick enough to support the person's weight, but if you'd rather not take the risk, you'll need to take the long way around. Finding the entrance can be a bit tricky, too, so it's easier to just look for someone standing guard outside. However you decide to head there, please be careful. Clearly she's not telling us everything. But I mean, what reason does she have to? Or what reason does she want, would she want, or be willing to? Okay, yeah, we gotta head to the south, and it looks like there's probably gonna be an aether current down here. So I'll keep an eye out for that. There's the entrance right over there. I think I'll go ahead and try and get the aether current first, if I can. There's supposed to be an aether current down to the south here. Oh, there it is. Don't tell me I have to walk that whole thing. Yeah, okay. I probably have to walk this whole thing. Let's run back. Actually, I guess I'll do it on the way back. It's not really on the way back, is it? I gotta go up here and then run across. And then I just have to run back. Yeah, I'll go ahead and get the aether current first. At least I'll try and get it. I think this is how you're supposed to do it. There we go. A little bit of a pain having to go out of my way to get this, but I'm gonna have to get it at some point. Okay, let's head over to the mines. Next aether current is southwest. Okay, there's another one inside then. Oh, it's really literally right there. Okay. Okay, where's the next one? Okay, north. We're not gonna get that anytime soon. Well, it's probably gonna be up over here. Let's talk to these guys. Hello, sir. Who goes there? How did you find us? Like, you're kind of standing out in the open. Kind of easy to spot you. What do you mean I stand here out like a sore thumb? See, that's what I said. If the purebloods over at Victor's Spoils hadn't given away our location, you'd never have found us. Those stuck-up arseholes thought they'd come waltzing in here demanding ceruleum with nothing to offer in return? Ha! Looks like the boot's on the other foot now. The capital's gone to shite. So they resorted to sending you to negotiate. I know your game, sellsword. If you think you will give in to intimidation, they've got another thing coming. Ah, I see. This is how this is gonna play out. Well, I guess we're not. I guess I don't have to. It's not stealing if they're dead. Stop, please. Consider me intimidated. Am I dead yet? There you are. Just after you left, Lysina asked me to go and catch up with you, in case you needed a hand. Someone must have let slip that I've a little experience in transporting barrels of ceruleum. I forget that what that was from. I think that was post Shadowbringers. So, this is Tapper's Den. Well then, after you. Were you? What happened to the guards? Eorzean and rebels to save the people of Garlemald? That doesn't make any goddamn sense. Why the hells would you pass up this chance to put those Imperial bastards to the sword? Let me guess, none of you are Garlean? You were brought here from other lands? Yerebanya, Yangsha, Boja, I don't know how to pronounce that correctly, Dalmasca, to name a few. Some dragged here against our will, others fed bollocks about a better life. All put to work extracting ceruleum. All given the esteemed title of On, placing us firmly at the bottom rung of the ladder. But the old hierarchy means nothing in the new Garlemald, says we. About the only thing that's escaped more or less unscathed is ceruleal ignis, still sustaining us, even with our paymasters out of the picture. We hear you're experts in drawing up ceruleum from the bottom of the lake, but how can we do that if it's frozen over? Ha! Wouldn't you like to know? Trade secret, I'm afraid. At any rate, it's not as if ceruleum is used for much these days. What with the city in ruins, we take enough to power our heaters and save the surplus for later, and though it helps stave off the cold, it does sod all about our hunger unless we can trade it anyway. Speaking of which, be sure to tell your contingent we've got ceruleum by the barrelful. If they're interested, we'll exchange it for whatever provisions they're willing to spare. We can certainly ask, but if you are all free now, why carry on living here? Free to go? Go where? Even if we managed to get back to our homelands, there'd be nothing left for us, thanks to the Empire, and the knowledge and skills we acquired working here would be practically useless outside of Garlemald. So we're staying for the time being. Long as there's a need for ceruleum, we'll find a way to get by, even if Garlemald, as we knew it, is gone for good. Gone for good. Okay, Yerrick. If you're wondering why we'd post guards outside, it's because we've had trouble with other refugees, and I don't mean the ones at Victor's spoils. Some of them come bearing weapons, and won't take no for an answer. As for the 2 guards you met on the way in, I'll tell them that what we've discussed. Once they've recovered from the beating you gave them, come to think of it, maybe we should ask your contingent to send some bandages and healing balm. Regardless of what the Ilsabard contingent does for the people of Garlemald, the Empire itself is already a thing of the past. For many, that would be a cause of celebration, while for others, their whole way of life will have been turned upside down. After all the atrocities committed in the Empire's name, perhaps it is for the best that it is consigned to history. But what of the ordinary people, their lives, their stories? Should they be forgotten too? I suppose there'll be plenty of time to ponder that later. For now, let's see about getting some ceruleum. The fire we built in Victor's spoils won't last forever, and it's too dangerous for Lucina and the others to search for more kindling. If we can get them some ceruleum, that'll be one less thing for them to worry about. For a time, at least. At the end of the trail. Is it Jarek or Yerrick? I'm gonna say Yerrick. Yerrick is amenable to making a deal. So, you've come seeking ceruleum, have you? What? The purebloods at Victor's spoils sent you? To turn their enemies for help. They must be more desperate than I'd thought. Then again, Lucina's got her little sister to think about. Ah, that was the voice we heard. A sister, but we only saw Lucina and 3 men. It's possible she died from whatever was ailing her. If she needed treatment, I doubt there will be any way to get it around here. I may have refused Lucina at first, thinking she'd come back with something in exchange, but I can spare them a bottle's worth of ceruleum. Consider it a reward for introducing me to the rest of your contingent. Be sure to send them our way, do you hear? I can't for the life of me think why Lucina would keep her sister a secret from us, but we can ask about that after we've delivered this ceruleum. Come on, let's hurry back. Let's see, there anyone? Nope, I don't think there's anything else to do here except for maybe talk to those two. Well, let's head on back. This is doing a good job, story-wise, of showing us the aftermath and how of Garlemald's fall and how it's affected just the normal people, and also to give us the philosophical view of should the normal people suffer for what they had no part of, or at least were not really a part of. Anyway, I want to see how racist these people are going to be. Once they get their strength back. These purebloods with their third eyes and everything. Oh, right, Alize. Really don't appreciate you leaving me in the dust. In your dust. This isn't right. It's too quiet. Well, yeah, nobody's here. I wouldn't have thought Alphanode would still be here treating them by the fire, but they're nowhere to be seen. I'll look inside the house while you search outside. They can't have gone far. Let me guess, they're doing something stupid. Let's go ahead and check the ashes, see if there's any clues. I guess there's nothing here. Where am I supposed to look? Oh, they're there. Oh, did they try and ambush Alphanode? Damn it all. And then Alphanode was like, oh yeah, I can take 3 guys. Probably attacked him. They asked me to help carry supplies, but when I followed them back here, they attacked me. Caught me off guard, forced me to defend myself. I fear they fared rather worse than me. You can't fool us, we know what you're about. Oh right, they're delusional. Vultures, that's what you are. Waiting in the wings for us to show weakness, then in you swoop. Here to help, what a rot. All a ploy to make us lower our guard. Let you in, put yourselves at your mercy. Put us in chains, steal our lands, get your revenge. You're wrong. That's not what any of us want. Save your arguments for later. We've got bigger problems. I found empty medicine bottles and a bed that was still warm. It's true. Lucina was hiding her sick sister inside the house. But now there's no sign of either of them. Where are they? Where did they go? Away from you and yours. And if you think I'll tell you, you're a fool. I'd never give up my people. What are you trying to help them, you idiot? Her sister's ill. The empty bottles prove it. As the medicine ran out, or she put it in her pockets to make it easier to carry. Or to avoid the sound of clinking glasses. There are beasts everywhere. How could you let them go alone? To protect them from you. To invade our homeland. Except we didn't. Taint it with the same sorcery used to slay our countrymen. A Garlean should sooner die than suffer the insult. Better for them to flee, keep their purity intact, than be corrupted by your vile magics. We were waiting for a chance to free them, since the moment you arrived. This is getting us nowhere. I cannot say how Lucina and her sister will react when we find them, but find them we must. Go on without me, both of you. I first need to tend to my injuries, and theirs. I will join you in the search after. Alright, be careful. We'll do our best to find them quickly. There's only one path out of here, so that's where we'll start. Alright, let's check on these two again. Rob us of our land, rob us of our pride. No, no, I'll not allow it. Better to die free than live in servitude and shame. The girls would say the same. I get the feeling that Cena was kind of coming around to it. I will follow as soon as I can. After I've given them some basic treatment, I'll take the men inside the house and use a light sleeping enchantment to help them rest, and ensure that they don't cause any more trouble. I'm sorry, but this is something I must do. Alright, go ahead and do it, Alphonone. I'm not stopping you. Okay, let's talk to Alize and see if we can track down Lucina and her sister. 2 sets of fresh footprints, young women, judging by the size. This is definitely them. Come on. I get the feeling they're going to be getting attacked, and we're going to save them, and then they're still going to be like, we don't want to be your slaves or whatever. But, I mean, this is an understandable reaction. This is the same exact stuff that we see with the other, that we saw in, like, Girabanya and Yansha and any of the Garlean-controlled territories. The trail stops at the frozen lake. Perhaps they chose this route so as not to leave footprints. I can't think of any other reason. Look at this place. It's crawling with beasts, and I can only imagine how hard it must be for her ailing sister to cross the ice. We could really do with Alphinode's help, but we can't afford to wait for him. Let's split up and look for clues. It's a pretty big area. I'm sure it won't take that long to find them. Famous last words. Oh, never mind. Fresh blood. Well, that's not good. The blood staining the snow appears to be fresh. Judging by the amount, the victim may have been severely wounded. The trail of blood leads southwards. Oh, that's this way, Seth. Hopefully they're okay. Probably over here. Never mind, I'm out of the... it's literally on the map. It said southward. This is east. Excuse me, sir. I'm trying to do MSQ. Oh, there's Lucina. Both of them. But they took the radio with them. The 2 bodies are already cold. Yeah, we couldn't do anything.
Blood trail. We found one. They were attacked. No. Why? Why wouldn't they?
Same reason you guys wouldn't.
Safer to brave the wilds than trust in our magic. We should have... I should have... We can't leave them like this. We have to take them home.
They're gonna think we killed
What if
them.
we're only making it worse?
Maybe we don't belong here, but neither do they. Not out here in the wind and the cold. I heard the story about Varus's voice from beyond the grave. Of course, I didn't believe it, but Licinia and her sister did. Perhaps there is something to the tale after all. I want to understand. So I'm going to borrow this for a while, if that's all right. You had every reason not to trust us. We came as trespassers, invaders. But I pray that in time, we will be more than that to you. That we will find a way to help your loved ones. And see that no more children are left to freeze alone in the snow.
Nothing like a little bit of death to make you feel good. I mean, bad. ... There must have been something we could have done, but what? Should we have never come here? Would they still be alive if we hadn't? I mean, you can't answer that. Heavenly Thrust. Oh, cool! Finally got the better version of this. And Heavenly Thrust is the better version of this. Nice. A way forward. Alphinode's resolve may be shaken, but he has not forgotten his duty. We have already caused enough harm here. Let us return to the camp before we cause any more. As for those inside the house, we should send someone to take care of them. Someone who isn't us. All we can do for now is make our report to Lucia, and do everything in our power to prevent further tragedy. So let us linger here no longer. Come. Alright, let's head back. See, is the Aether Current near? Okay, to the west. Yeah, it's like all the way over here. Let's just teleport back. I mean, like, the thing is, they're acting the way that we would, like, other people would act in this situation. That we've seen people act. Would you mind giving Lucia a full report? We mustn't forget to send some of our allies to Tapper's Den. We still owe them for the bottle of ceruleum. Alize and Alphinode tell me that you have finished their preliminary search for survivors, but refrained from saying much more than that. Certainly they are reluctant to provide details. Might I ask you for your account?
Thank you for your report. We shall inform the troops of these developments, and instruct them to proceed with the utmost caution should they encounter any survivors.
Allow me to go and speak with the ones at the victor's spoils.
Oh yeah, that would be a good idea.
They may be more willing to listen to a fellow Garlean and accept our offer of assistance.
I mean, he's like pure blood with the third eye and everything.
I pray you are right. And though I am loath to burden you any further, should there be an appropriate occasion to speak of Licinia and her sister, please do so.
I am sorry to have put you through this.
My distress is nothing compared to their suffering. So tell me, what else have we learned?
As you may have already heard, we have succeeded in curing the members of the Populares, Maxima identified. They have provided us with some intriguing insights into the current state of Garlemald.
Oh, that's interesting. The Populares will be willing to help us. Flashbang.
The assassination of Emperor Varus was the catalyst for the civil war. Nerva declared his claim to the throne, and his opponents refused to recognize it. Fighting broke out in the capital, where Nerva's Third Legion clashed with the First, who remained loyal to Varus even after his death.
Of course, even Imperial warmongers would balk at the idea of turning their shining city into a battleground. Like burning down the wood to spite the wasps. Neither side would be so mad. Unless something or someone inflamed their animosity to such an extent that they could not help but act against their better judgment.
It brings to mind events of the Gimlet Dark, does it not? The Emperor's sudden withdrawal from the front lines, specifically. Nerva and his father, Titus, Varus's then political rival, took advantage of rumors that Crown Prince Zenos had been possessed by a demon.
Elidibus, what better way to disparage your enemies than with the truth, or a close enough approximation?
Indeed. But before their accusations could be substantiated, many of Titus's followers were silenced. While some were merely stripped of their status, others died under curious circumstances. One after another, suddenly and suspiciously.
Again, Elidibus. Like as not, he had a hand in it. No evidence was found to implicate Varus, certainly. Nevertheless, Titus, Nerva, and the Third Legion would have judged it a brazen attempt by the Emperor to rid himself of his political enemies. And then, in the midst of this growing turmoil, Varus Sosgalvis is murdered.
Flashbang.
And Garlemald's own prodigal son, Gaius van Belsar, is named the murderer. Shortly thereafter, Nerva claims the right of succession, and in response, the First Legion claims the assassination was part of a coup d'etat orchestrated by Titus and Nerva.
So no one is at fault, and everyone else is to blame.
I should add that both parties received substantial financial backing, presumably to provide them with the means and encouragement to pursue a swift victory. And that these contributions came from the self-same benefactor.
I wonder who.
I'd heard House Brutus had been filling the Third Legion's coffers, but the First as well.
It would seem so. Though the Populares determined that the First Legion received funds from a variety of organizations, all had connections to House Brutus.
So Fandaniel, in the guise of Asahi, was playing both sides against each other the entire time.
The information we gained from my friends does not end there. One night, shortly after fighting broke out, the capital was shaken by an immense tremor. From that point onward, they have no memories, no recollection of any events, including our clash on the Magna Glaciers. But when asked about the Imperial Palace and its bizarre transformation, they somehow recall Emperor Varys giving them orders in their dreams.
Huh?
May the Tower of Babel stand as testament to the glory of Garlemald.
Oh, is this the tempering?
This sounds awfully familiar.
We have something to show you all.
Oh, the radio.
Varys spoke to them through this radio. Perhaps it was a recording, but if not, that would be inexplicable.
We are of one mind, then.
The ether that permeates the ore used in this device is almost identical to that of the talismans.
Wait, what?
I see it. While it is likely more by coincidence than design, these devices might also ward against a primal's influence.
Interesting.
A picture is beginning to form. If the tremor felt throughout Garlemald was a wave of ether emitted by a primal, then while those within range would have been tempered, those huddled around a radio desperate for news concerning the Civil War would have been spared.
No wonder Licinia kept it close.
My friends, I must speak with you. A young man was caught trying to steal our supplies. He is a soldier of the Iron Men, we think, but one who has not been made thrall. Thankfully, Magni restrained him before blood was spilled. The stranger is outside, if you wish to ask him questions.
Is it one of the guys or is it someone else?
I think we do.
Oh yeah, it's one of the guys.
Who do we have here?
Garleans? Traitors to your homeland! Have you no shame?
I am Lucia Junius, a Temple Knight of Ishgard. And you are?
Iulus Pier Norbanus. And that's all you invaders will get from me.
We are not here to invade Garlemald. Far from it. Like you, our allies in Eorzea and the Far East fight in defense of their lives and their loved ones even as we speak. But it is the people of Garlemald who have suffered most. This we know. And that is why we have come to offer you our aid, that we may unite against our common foe. Whether you believe me or not, those are the facts. Now, answer me this. Why would a proud soldier of the Empire be reduced to stealing? The situation must be dire indeed for you to go to such lengths. If it is supplies you seek, we would gladly share ours, or turn a blind eye while you leave with your spoils.
I will not negotiate. My commander will determine how to deal with you and yours. If you wish to treat with him, I will take you, but no more than 3.
I don't much like the sound of that. But if we do accept his proposal, I suggest the 2 of us and...
It's gonna be Lucia or Maxima. Or is it gonna be
Please allow
Elfino?
me and Alize to act as envoys.
This doesn't sound like the best idea. Shouldn't we send a Garlean?
May I ask why?
We have seen with our own eyes the hardships the Garleans face. How their futures and lives hang in the balance.
I understand Elfino because he's the negotiator.
It's not the warmest invitation, but it's an opportunity to prove our intentions true. Maybe not a chance to make things right, but a chance to make them better.
I'm going with you, okay. What would your mother say if I let you two go by yourselves?
I can see that persuading you otherwise is a lost cause, but you will proceed with the utmost care.
Oh, don't worry. I'm there. We'll be fine.
A couple of children and what? A sellsword? Is this an insult?
Not in the least. You will find that they are more than qualified to speak on our behalf.
There are many dangers on the road ahead. I will need that back